Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm real curious about TAP. So right now, if a participant, a plan sponsor wants to exit CalPERS, they have two choices. One is TAP and the other is Loyalton. And they just stop paying and you just cut the benefits for the... So, but that's sort of an informal policy. That's kind of new territory. So how long has TAP been around?
When we looked, the TAP's been around, I think, we've had terminated agencies since, I think, back to the 1970s, in the early 70s. So it's been around for 30, 40 years. And like I said, most of the plans that have been terminating have supplied the necessary contributions needed to terminate. East San Gabriel was I think, one of the first significant involuntary terminations that we had. All the other plans, even Loyalton was kind of unique because they actually terminated the plan and then didn't have the money to terminate it. So they had the numbers, and then they kind of were going through the process, and then for some reason they went through all the process and then said, oh, we can't pay it at the end. And at that point, our hands were tied because everything was committed up to that point. They had signed all the papers. They had basically signed the contract terminating the plan. And so Loyalton was a situation...
So maybe not to get into the weeds too much, I apologize. But you decided somewhere along the way that if someone wanted to terminate, there's this procedure.
Correct.
And so you have this rather onerous requirement to come up with a big chunk of money if you want to terminate. And so my curiosity is, you're supposed to be a service provider. You are to invest the funds and pay the beneficiaries. And somehow you've become more of a lobster trap that if a city uses you, they can't get out because the price is so expensive. And I'm kind of wondering, where did that start? Where, that you don't see that in the private sector. If I want to leave, we find out what our balance is, and we say thank you very much, and we go to the next agency or business that provides the same service, invests and pays beneficiaries. And I'm trying to get to the genesis of how we make this so difficult when someone's already in a rather traumatic financial distress.
So let me see if I can get at that. So the pension benefit has to be paid by someone, right? So it's either paid by the contributions or it's paid by investment earnings. In order for a member to receive that benefit over their lifetime, there is a payment that's required to have that.
I've sat on a retirement board for 12 years. I know how a DB plan works.
Right. So when someone moves into the terminated agency pool, we have to anticipate that the funds to pay those benefits over the lifetime, that we have some guarantee that those are going to come in appropriately. Without having that money come in, someone else will pay. It will be either socialized across the system or someone will pay for that benefit eventually.